right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tropical Tuesday? Well, not quite, but it's far from bitter cold. The timing on gusty winds that bring unsettled and colder weather later this week.
Tonight, jackpot. Mega Millions reaches $1 billion. What you need to know if the lottery contacts you. We verify. But first tonight, a jury found him guilty for murdering a mom and her 3 children. Now his execution is looming.
They need to go through with the execution.
Hear more from the victim's family and the people trying to overturn his death sentence. Tonight, with just 4 weeks to go before he's set to die by lethal injection, Leonard Taylor says he has a new alibi. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. One of the victim's family members isn't buying Taylor's story. Our Robert Townsend is here with more on the new developments in this case. Robert.
Anna, Mike, Leonard Taylor was convicted of killing his then girlfriend and her 3 kids nearly 18 years ago. Right now, he's scheduled to be executed on February 7th. Taylor's lawyers hope to delay that, but the family of the victim says no way.
All of them happy and carefree, and that's how I remember her and her kids.
LaWanda Rowe says not a day goes by that she doesn't think of her sister, Angela Rowe, and Rowe's 3 children.
It's been really rough because, our sister was brutally murdered, her and her children.
Missouri inmate Leonard Taylor is scheduled to be executed for the murders of his 28-year-old girlfriend, Rowe's 10-year-old daughter, Alexis, 6-year-old Acura, and 5-year-old son, Tyrese. The 4 victims were found shot to death inside their Jennings home in December 2004. A jury convicted Taylor in 2008.
Leonard has maintained his innocence in this case.
But now Taylor's attorneys are saying not so fast. On Friday, they sent documents to the St. Louis County Prosecutor's Office stating Taylor's now 31-year-old daughter and her mother claim at the time of the quadruple murder, Taylor was in California and could not have committed the crimes. Taylor's attorneys hope to move on a provision in a state law that allows prosecutors to request a hearing before a judge if information arises that a defendant could be innocent or erroneously convicted.
So we want Mr. Bell to ask the court to have an evidentiary hearing because Mr. Taylor has very credible innocence claim.
Chris King, a spokesman for the St. Louis County prosecutor, says they received materials from Taylor's defense team and are reviewing them now.
He's had all these years to sit and think of a way to get out of this.
LaWanda Rowe says her sister feared for her life because of Taylor's drug dealing past. Rowe says nearly 18 years after losing her 4 loved ones, she wants justice.
They need to go through with the execution.
Tonight, Leonard Taylor sits in a prison cell in Potosi. Again, he's set to be executed next month. Of course, we will let you know if that changes.
Tonight, a Missouri man who pleaded guilty in a high-profile murder case is back home. Chuck Erickson was released on parole today after serving 17 years in prison. He later recanted his confession, which also led to the arrest and wrongful conviction of his high school classmate Ryan Ferguson. Erickson told police he had a dream that he and Ferguson killed Columbia Daily Tribune sports editor Kent Heithold during a late-night robbery in 2001. Both were 17 at the time. Erickson says he was coerced into that confession. Here he is in a 2019 interview in prison.
I know I was coerced. I was coerced by, the police, the prosecutor, my own attorney. So, I know I was coerced.
Ferguson's conviction was vacated in 2013 and he was released from prison. At that time, he said Chuck Erickson is a lot of things, but guilty isn't one of them.
Tonight, 3 teenagers are in police custody after a shooting outside a Cracker Barrel restaurant in St. Charles. It happened early this morning at the restaurant located off I-70 near the St. Charles Convention Center. Police say the 52-year-old employee was shot after yelling at the 3 teens as they tried to break into a car.
That is the most troubling issue to me in this entire incident. This is a 14, 15, and 16-year-old boy who were driving in a stolen car and came to St. Charles armed with a handgun, were confronted trying to steal a car, and shot somebody. The teens fled in a stolen car before dumping it in Earth City, where they stole a truck.
later crashed that truck and ran from officers on foot. All three were arrested shortly after. Tonight, police are still looking for the gun. This was the third shooting in a local business in the last 6 days.
In two of those incidents, the victims were shot after confronting the gunman. New tonight, our Laura Barczewski talked with a safety expert on how employees and customers can protect themselves. Laura.
Mike and Ann, safety experts say one of the most important things you can do, no matter if you're an employee or a customer, is to not try to intervene or take matters into your own hands, because you or someone else could end up getting hurt or killed.
Okay, unless you've been in the military and had a couple of tours, you're really not trained to return fire. Or if you're a police officer, you're trained to return fire. But nobody wants to return fire in a crowded restaurant, right? Because you may accidentally shoot somebody by accident.
On Wednesday, police say a Dobbs Tire employee was shot and killed by a coworker. On Friday, an employee of the staffing agency Pride Staff was shot and killed by a masked robber. And on Monday, a Cracker Barrel employee was shot as he tried to confront teens trying to steal his car.
People are doing all kinds of strange things. People just have this anger inside them. I don't know if it's because they've been cooped up in their house too long or what the situation is, but they just seem angry, more angry than they used to be.
Global intelligence security consultant Michael Barberi says if a shooter comes in while you're at work or at a business, get down or go to a safe room without windows if you can, and call 911.
Make sure you get out of the line of fire, because you never know where the bullets are going. If the guy comes in and he didn't like his meal, goes out in his car, gets a gun, he comes back in, he starts shooting and randomly shooting people. So you want to stay down, get as low as you can, put something between you and the shooter.
What can be done to try and prevent this?
The best way to try and prevent workplace violence is good communication, good two-way communication, healthy, safe communication between the management and the employees. Okay.
Barberi says another tip is whenever police do show up, make sure they can see your hands so they don't think you are the shooter. Mike.
Laura, thanks. Tonight, the city of St. Louis officially has a new police chief. Mayor Tashara Jones swore in Robert Tracy during a private ceremony today. Tracy comes from Wilmington, Delaware, where he served as police chief. He's also worked in Chicago and New York. 5 on Your Side obtained an email Tracy sent to the department, which says in part, he will call upon each member of the department to take on a leadership role regardless of rank or assignment as they work together to address the plague of violent crime that has affected St. Louis and so many cities like ours. You can read the entire email on ksdk.com.
Tonight, a man is recovering in the hospital. Another is in police custody after an assault and house fire near Fenton. Firefighters were called to a house on Aventine Drive around 2 o'clock this afternoon. A man was found injured in the front yard and smoke was coming from the home. Police say it all stemmed from a family fight. No charges have been filed. Excuse me. Late tonight, we learned students at Maplewood Richmond Heights Elementary School will return to the building on Wednesday. District officials say new air quality testing shows the building is safe. The school switched to remote learning after a pipe burst over winter break, causing massive damage. Air quality tests then revealed mold issues inside the school. Students will continue remote learning tomorrow and then head back on Wednesday.
Tonight, a big party at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield drew a big name. Pop star Bruno Mars was the headliner at tonight's inaugural ball for Governor J.B. Pritzker. Earlier today, the governor was sworn in for his second term. He talked about his accomplishments in his first 4 years and what he hopes to accomplish in the next 4.
We balanced the budget and got credit upgrades. We raised the minimum wage. We're modernizing our transportation systems. We legalized cannabis. Oh, I see all of you. Yeah. We protected reproductive freedom in our laws.
Then the governor said the next item on the agenda, an assault weapons ban. It could set a template for Congress and the White House.
Tonight, the Mega Millions jackpot has people dreaming of billions. Tomorrow night's prize has grown to $1.1 billion. Tickets are $2 a piece. Sales in Missouri cut off at 8:59 tomorrow night. In Illinois, you have until 9:45 p.m.
We're less than 24 hours away from that drawing. As ticket holders anxiously await those winning numbers, so too are scammers.
Our verified team found out there are scams to look out for even if you don't buy a ticket. Here's Brandon Lewis.
The Mega Millions jackpot is more than $1 billion, with the cash option prize expected to be more than $568 million. The prize is now the third largest in Mega Millions history. That's got people racing to buy tickets, but as you try to get rich quick, be careful because scammers may be trying to get rich off of you. Let's verify. Are there lottery scams around large jackpots like the one in Mega Millions? Our sources are Mega Millions, Powerball, the Better Business Bureau, and the Federal Trade Commission. Scammers have a history of targeting people who play lottery games, including Mega Millions and Powerball. On its website, Mega Millions warns of one particular tactic, a phone call, text, or email informing that you've won and asking for either payment or your personal information to claim the prize. And you don't have to buy a ticket to be scammed. Mega Millions also warns scammers could claim to be past winners looking to share their money in exchange for information. Both Mega Millions and Powerball say they do not reach out to prize winners. The FTC and the Better Business Bureau say signs of a scam include being asked for personal information or to send money to pay fees or taxes on the prize. So, yes, there are lottery scams, particularly around large jackpot games like Mega Millions. Our sources recommend contacting your state's Attorney General and the FTC if you think you've been scammed. You can report scams to the FTC by going to reportfraud.ftc.gov. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What can we verify for you? Send me an email, verify@kstk.com.
A teacher shot in her classroom is being called a hero.
She asked me, first question, do you know how my students are?
Tonight, new information on how a first grader got his hands on a gun. Burning calories without burning a hole in your wallet. Tonight, we're breaking down the best buys in January to help you stick to your New Year's resolutions. Oh dear. This animal crashed into the wrong business.
Our January thaw continues. The changes, though, coming later this week that will be a bit of a reality check.
Tonight, the search for a 5-year-old who swept away by floodwaters in Central California is now being classified as a recovery mission. The child and their mother were trapped inside their car this morning when it got stuck in a swollen creek bed. Good Samaritans were able to pull mom to safety, but they couldn't reach the child. That flooding is all part of a series of powerful storms slamming the state of California. Relentless rainfall is causing widespread flooding, mudslides, road closures, and other weather-related problems up and down the coastline. Tonight, more than 32,000 people are under evacuation orders. Stunning new details tonight about the shooting of a first-grade teacher in Virginia.
The gunman, police say, a 6-year-old boy. Just a few hours ago, a vigil was held for the teacher wounded in Friday's shooting. Newport News police say the gun the young student used was legally purchased by his mother. According to investigators, he pulled out a 9mm handgun during an instruction time and fired a single round. 25-year-old Abigail Zwerner was hit in the hand and chest. Tonight, she's recovering in the hospital and being hailed a hero.
She suffered a gunshot wound, but she was still able to get all of her students out of that classroom. Mrs. Werner was the last person to leave that class.
Tonight, the 6-year-old boy is in custody and receiving psychological treatment. It is not clear yet whether his mother will face charges.
Late tonight, the U.S. House adopted a rules package for the legislative session. The new rules include concessions House Speaker Kevin McCarthy made with a group of Republicans to gain the Speaker's gavel. Among them, a 72-hour window before a new bill can be voted on. One Republican joined all Democrats in voting no.
If you feel like some of your 2023 resolutions have already started to go by the wayside, don't fret just yet. Tonight, Consumer Reports is revealing the best products to buy this month that will help you reach your goals. From big items like treadmills and ellipticals to smaller ones like smartwatches and fitness trackers, January is a great time to find savings on things that will help jumpstart the new year right. Consumer Reports tracks the prices of many of its top-tested products all year long, so it knows exactly when they go on deep discount. Here are top products to look out for in this month's Best Time to Buy.
Because January follows 2 months of heavy holiday sales, discounts tend to be a bit sparser overall. However, we typically see deals on health, fitness, and other resolution-related products.
Make an investment for your cardio with a new treadmill. The Bowflex Treadmill 10 is as low as $16.99 at Best Buy. CR says this foldable treadmill scores excellent in its ergonomic tests for belt size, foot rail, and hand grip design. If you prefer a lower impact home workout, CR found this Schwinn elliptical for as low as $8.99 at Amazon. This low-cost elliptical includes heart rate programs that adjust exercise intensity based on a target heart rate. Next, if you need some help keeping yourself accountable, a new fitness tracker might help. The Garmin Forerunner 35 is as low as $99 at Amazon and Walmart. This watch-based fitness tracker has real-time heart rate monitoring, sleep tracking, and calories burned. For even more features, step up to a smartwatch. This Apple Watch SE is as low as $199 at Walmart. Opting for an older model like this one is a great way to get an Apple Watch for less. And finally, track your progress all year long with a new digital scale. This bathroom scale from Withings is as low as $47.96 at Amazon. This scale measures in 0.1 pound increments and has Bluetooth connectivity to tracking apps. Consumer Reports says to look out for more sales next weekend, which is the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day holiday. The best deals will be on bigger purchases like mattresses and large appliances.
Caught on camera, a deer looking to get warm crashed its way through the front window of a business in Minnesota, and it probably wasn't the best place for it to wind up. Loud boom. The business owner was in the back. She thought a car crashed into the shop. She came out, she saw the deer running around, broken glass everywhere, and a big hole in the wall.
When I came around the corner, the deer was the last thing I would have ever imagined. It was chaos, to say the least, and just complete pandemonium. My kid was screaming, "Why is there a deer in here? Why is there a deer in here?"
Well, that was a butcher shop. So the deer must have realized it, and it hightailed it out of there. The store owner said it took hours to clean up that mess.
Yeah, deers should avoid butcher shops. All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the Weather First forecast. And Scotty, tomorrow is not going to feel like January.
No, it's not. And, you know, this afternoon it didn't. It did this morning. How about that sunset this evening? Wasn't that absolutely gorgeous? That was our view looking over from Worldwide Technology Raceway as those high clouds are rolling over St. Louis. A lot of color in the sky this evening. And tomorrow, it looks very similar. In fact, we'll probably be a degree or two warmer than we were today. 56. Can't beat that for this time of year. Abnormally warm because our average high is 40. We were closer on the low this morning at 23. The average is 24 degrees. Right now, temperatures and the coldest spots have dropped back into the mid-30s, and we're probably going to settle back into the low and mid-30s east of St. Louis, mid to upper 30s around the metro area. We just have some high clouds drifting through. St. Louis right now at 46 degrees. You're still in the 40s back to Kansas City down to Springfield. Those high clouds will scoot on out, which will lead us into a bright start for your Tuesday. Out west, different story. The rain tonight moving through the Los Angeles area into the mountains. High amounts of rainfall with this, 4 to 8 inches of rain in the mountains, several feet of snow in some cases, and this atmospheric, well, just the rivers, atmospheric rivers. There's one that went ashore, one coming into southern portions of California. There's another one developing out here over the Pacific, and that's going to eventually hit the California area. And then you've got a line of what we think will be stronger thunderstorms. Very late tonight, early tomorrow morning, rolling towards San Francisco. Eventually, some of that energy does head our way. We will see that as we move towards Wednesday night and Thursday. But tomorrow looks absolutely great. Winds are fairly light. It's dry, mid, maybe some upper 50s. Wednesday night, well after dark, we get some rain in here. This system's going by to our south. There's generally a lack of cold air. Wednesday's high is going to be close to 60, but as the system passes by, there will be some cooling behind it, and it definitely gets colder here as we head into Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. We will probably see a few snowflakes mixing in with this, especially north and west of St. Louis. We're not anticipating problems other than wet roads, though. This is what it'll feel like, though, out the door Friday morning. It'll feel like it's in the teens with those gusty winds and a partly cloudy sky. So the end of the week, yes, we'll have some changes. But Tuesday, Wednesday, well above average. Dry both days if you work outside. Good working weather for sure. Then on Thursday, we'll start with that rain, maybe a bit of a mixture to snow, wet snow north and west of St. Louis. Then we dry out, we get cold, we get breezy. We stay that way Friday. Into the weekend, chilly start, but Sunday we're back into the 50s. And as we head towards the MLK holiday here on Monday, a chance of rain, but it would be rain with temperatures in the 50s for highs.
Scott, thank you. Sports is coming up. Corey?
Well, the national championship was a story of dominance. The Blues have another injury, and the newest addition to City SC will have to worry about MLS matches and finishing his algebra homework. Sports is next.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Chevy powerhouse.
Couple drives, and they'll go straight ahead with Cody Schrader, and Cody Schrader leading the convoy, finally taken down at the 1.
Of all the almost for Mizzou football this season, that's going to be the one that hurts the most. If Cody Schrader gets one more yard on that run, Mizzou probably goes on to beat number 1 Georgia. The same number 1 Georgia trying to become back-to-back champions tonight against TCU. Let's go to Stan's Inglewood Palace that charges you $17 for a beer at the national championship game. And the Dogs had something to prove. First drive, they kick off the scoring on this Stetson Bennett keeper for the touchdown, and they would not stop scoring. Bennett to a Donnie Mitchell for the one-handed catch for 6 more, and it's a blowout in the national championship game. Georgia wins 65-7, the largest margin of victory in college bowl game history. One of the most electrifying football players the state of Missouri has ever produced is headed to the Hall of Fame. Kirkwood's Jeremy Macklin is the 8th Mizzou Tiger to earn induction into the College Football Hall of Fame. J-Mac only played 2 years at Mizzou and is still 5th all-time in receiving yards for the program. Nowadays, he's the head coach at his alma mater of Kirkwood. The Blues currently have enough players on injured reserve to field a pretty decent starting 5 on the ice. And the news got even worse today. Defenseman Robert Bortuzzo is heading to the injured list as well. The team has called up defenseman Dmitry Samorikov from the AHL. The good news is that on the ice, things have been all right despite the injuries. The Blues are heading home after getting 6 of a possible 8 points on their 4-game road trip, and they know home is a place where they need to be better. Currently holding a losing record at Enterprise this season.
We've lost a lot of players here, but again, we've got guys that are coming up and doing the job, and I think they're seeing that, and we're all believing that we can do the job. We got to establish our, record first. With at home, it's not been good enough this year, and we have an opportunity to really gain some ground on people in the league here at home, and it starts with Calgary at home.
It's the dreaded Black Monday in the NFL. It's the annual day coaches hit the free agent market. The Texans axed Lovie Smith after just 1 season. He did win his final game at the helm to take the Texans out of the first place spot in the draft. The Cardinals also cut ties with their head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, after 4 seasons in Arizona and only 1 playoff appearance. Here's some good news. Bills safety Damar Hamlin is on his way back to Buffalo. Hamlin had been in a hospital in Cincinnati since suffering cardiac arrest during last Monday night's game against the Bengals. The entire NFL recognized Hamlin's fight this past week, with the Bills pulling off some incredible moments to honor number 3. Hamlin will now spend some time at the Gates Vascular Institute in Buffalo. In less than 2 months, we'll get to watch our town's new soccer team play an MLS game inside their new stadium downtown. That sounds pretty great, right? You know what would make it even better? Having a homegrown player on that first roster. Well, I've got some good news. Today, the club signed 15-year-old Columbia, Illinois native Caden Glover as the team's first ever homegrown signee from their academy. A forward, Glover's deal is for 5 years, set to run through the 2027 season. So while typical Columbia high schoolers are worried about prom and that big game coming up against Waterloo, Caden will be a professional athlete. Not too bad bragging rights around Columbia High School.
That's
incredible.
Cool. Yeah, 15 years old. Corey, thanks.
From doorbells to dashboards, the new product from Ring and why you may want to order it now. Organizers of the Golden Globes are not letting strong storm rains on tomorrow night's award show put a damper on things. This tent's been put up over the red carpet outside the Beverly Hilton Hotel. NBC canceled last year's telecast over diversity issues. It returns with comedian Jared Carmichael as host. You can watch it right here before 5 on your side at 10.
Ring cameras help protect your home, and now they can protect your car too, apparently. Amazon is introducing a new Ring camera that'll go right on your dashboard. It will send you an alert, live video, and begin a recording When someone breaks into your car, you can also record traffic stops and accidents. Apparently, now you can pre-order this for $200, but the price goes up $50 next month.
Great invention. It's the annual return that thwarts your New Year's resolution. These cuties. Girl Scout cookie season officially got underway in eastern Missouri over the weekend. Scouts can now take orders. Cookie booths will be open next month. A box will cost you $5. I think there's a couple that are $6. A recent survey found Thin Mints, the most popular cookie in Missouri. Illinois prefers tagalongs.
And Ann Allred prefers.
Oh.
You like them all.
Yes.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Jimmy's guest tonight, Al Pacino and Logan Lerman. Start your day with Today in St. Louis. It gets started at 4 a.m. and have a great tomorrow.